No, no, no. I don't know. I didn't feel real. I had no idea what was going to happen out there, honestly. Even before the match, and uh, I played a lot of matches, and that was a different kind of nerves than I've had before. So that was surprising for me.
Was it fun? Do you ever use that word to describe tonight?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I took a look around, and I didn't even feel bad about it. So, it was a lot of fun.
Did you feel like he had given up by the third set, or was overwhelmed, or how did you?
I don't know. I wasn't too concerned about what was going on over there. I liked what was happening on my side of the court, and I just kind of wanted to continue that. I wasn't too concerned.
Andy, when you say you took a look around, what do you mean by that?
Literally, I took a look around.
Pre-match, during?
No, like during, like I looked around, and I had a good time, and when they're doing the dancing and stuff, and on the switchovers, and I was just watching. That was fun.
What did you see when you looked around? Were you just everything, or anything in particular?
Yeah, that stadium. There were a lot of people there tonight. That's the smallest it's felt to me. It almost felt cozy for once. And it's a big place for that.
What do you mean, Andy? Why did it feel so small?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. It felt comfortable.
When you say you let yourself look around, have you ever done that before, or have you always tried to be better? You're known for your focus and everything.
Yeah, I just don't think it's something that crosses your mind. I don't think you ever, when it's what you do and it's what you're going to do the next week and a month from now, you kind of are so consumed by what's going on in the next 5 minutes that you don't really notice stuff. So there are no guarantees for me now. So I was trying to notice stuff.
Were those shoes new for tonight or for this tournament, or?
No, I've actually I started wearing them at the beginning of summer.
Was there any connection between knowing that you'd announced your retirement and then going out and playing some of your best tennis?
I don't know. Again, this process is new to me. I don't have a lot of the answers, and who knows what'll happen on Sunday again. Felt weird before the match, and 20 minutes before it was kind of getting the best of me, and kind of had to like get my stuff together before I walked out there. So this is I'm by no means an expert on this, and it's still all a little different, and it worked. I played well. I don't know why.
And once the match got started, did it feel normal, or did it always?
Not for a little bit. It was still weird. I don't know how to explain it. It was a little surreal.
So we're 6 minutes into the press conference, so we can do the better question. You once said that Roddick had flash and hard screen, but your advantage was that you could get the crap out of the ball.
Yeah.
Could you just talk about, in your own mind, did it give you a certain satisfaction in a way that you just maybe didn't have the gifts, the arsenal of being the players, but you were right in there fighting and getting every ounce?
Well, that's what I had to do. I think as an athlete, for me, it was, a lot of times it was as clear to me as it is to you guys when you watch sometimes. I knew staying back and playing cute shots and stuff against Roger probably wasn't going to work. You try different things, knowing that you have to execute perfectly. So sometimes you look stupid if you miss a couple. We can all see it, but the hard part is executing. Otherwise everyone would do it. I didn't. Obviously my record against Roger is not good, but I did take a certain amount of pride in hearing about how good this guy is and how good that guy is, and this guy looks so nice and he's got the sweetest one-handed shot or two-handed shot, and I would look and I pretty much sucked at everything. Um, but then I look at the rankings and I was 15 spots ahead of them. So I always liked that part of it.
So when you're coming off the course tonight, you're not thinking, wow, maybe if I play this way,
No.
every match through, this year and next year, could get the ranking back up. You're thinking, what, this is just a one-off crazy magical experience that happened tonight?
It's a match. I played well. I'm happy that I played well.
And late, I don't know if this is something you were conscious of, but late in the match, you won a drop shot volley, and you kind of had this smile on your face as you turned around late in the third set. And I was just wondering, was there, I don't know if you remember it or if it was something you were conscious of, but was there just kind of that moment or something you were thinking about or just enjoying the experience?
No, I just realized that was probably a shot I'd never hit before. It kind of had, I kind of went after it a little bit, and it kind of had a little of the fun stuff that you see how the other guys do. I was excited about that.
Andy, if I'm not mistaken, played a lot of matches, and yet something happened for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, I looked down. The women use a different ball than we do, and I did what I normally do. You get 3 or 4 balls, and you look for the one that looks the lightest to serve with, or at least I do. And it had ours have a black logo, and theirs have a red logo, and we had a red logo ball in our mix somehow. I have no idea where it would have come from. So I noticed it, and I kind of, the first for me. I thought about it. But the other ones looked a little, I think it was used in a women's match that may have gone on a little while. It was a little beat up.
Andy, you'll never play Tomic again, so have you got any advice for him on how to take his game to the next level?
Oh, he'll be fine. I know, I can relate a little bit. I've been in Australia before during the Aussie Open, and he just kind of has to keep a little bit of perspective on it. He's going to be great one day and not so good the next day, and if I had one piece of advice, I would tell him it's probably never as good as it seems at a given moment, and it's probably never as bad as it seems at a given moment as well.
And it's been a very climactic 24 hours for you, the announcement, and then building up to this, what could have been the last match. How do you refill your tank and do it all again?
I don't know. I've never done it before. I told you that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna go have some dinner, do what I normally do, and come out tomorrow, get a little bit of practice, and try to fight another day. No, I was in the locker room, and no, I mean, you're never alone in the locker room, really. Yeah, I don't know. I've been pretty good about everything. Kind of moment hit me a little bit. You start realizing the finality of a situation, and you think different things today. I walk out for warm up. Is this gonna be the last warm up? And kind of everything it kind of works along those lines. So got to me a little bit, and Larry had to come over and kind of tell me to knock it off.
What he said to us before, first of all, that he wanted to play with you because the crowd, the stadium, not because he thinks he's going to win, but why not? But he said that few days ago you told him if I win, at the end of the year I could be in the top 30 and get the bonus. This is what he told us.
Bonus? There's no bonus for top 30.
That's why I didn't understand. So that's why I was trying to understand what maybe he misunderstood.
No, I think he asked me what I was, and I said I was probably not going to finish in the top 30. Little did he know is because I'm probably not going to ever play anything again. No, there's no bonus.
Andy, when you were a junior, I'm assuming, or even younger than that, you were the best of all the players around. I'm assuming you were better than everybody else. When was the moment when you knew I'm going to have to work? Was it as a junior? Like, I'm really going to have to start adding pieces here. I've suddenly reached a little bit of talent, and now it's going to...
No, I wasn't really. I wasn't. I certainly wasn't the best junior. I mean, I went from losing first round here in 1999 and being 40 in the world in juniors, and then 2 years later I was 14 in the world in pros. When I was 16, I think I was 45 or 50 in the country. So that certainly wasn't the case, and I think I've always been a worker. It was kind of like the way my dad worked. the way he did things, and I don't know that I ever. I'd coming up and win my first challenge. I think guys would be like, "Oh, you're gonna be in the top 100 in no time." I was like, "I don't know if I will. You know, we'll see. I hope so." I don't know that I ever, you know, put myself in positions before I actually got there.
Inga?
And congratulations on your career. You were also one of the first to send out a tweet after Kim's last match.
Mhm.
What are your feelings about her? You seem to have a lot of fun during kids' days and stuff. How do you feel about her retiring?
You know, it's bittersweet. You know, it was weird. I was watching her. I kind of felt the way I did during my first round. And the next day, I spent watching her match. And, you know, she's one of the most likable players that's ever been out here. I mean, you know, I you could definitely find some people who have had issues with me. I dare you to find someone that has had an issue with her. You know, she's a great human, and I hope she's happy with where she's at.
And can you put in words what it feels like to be embraced by a big crowd like that?
I don't know. You know, it's a humbling experience, for sure. You know, it's certainly nice to feel appreciated at the end of all of it. I mean, it's a humbling feeling. I mean, you know, you have 24,500 people there to see something. You know, it's a good feeling, and you know, kind of the outpouring of support from inside the tennis world and outside the tennis world in the last 24 hours is certainly not something that I expected, to the lengths it's come from. So I mean it's obviously it feels great though.
Andy, could you just take a minute and actually talk about this process? I mean, tennis has all these cycles, and every year you go to do about 500 million press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to go from the French press conferences with their existential questions,
Mm-hmm.
the British with the tabs and all that? Could you just talk about this process, how tough it is to come out after a loss? Or
I've always felt okay with it. You know, I think even in my worst moments, I you know I come in here knowing it's a vital part of our game and growing it, and you know I certainly am not always probably in the mood for it after a bad loss, but I don't think I've ever been the guy who hasn't come in, or you know I certainly. I certainly get the process, and I realize how vital this part is to you know it's the reason why I've been as fortunate as I have too. You know so I certainly get you know all factors, and as much as I've been pissed off at you or you guys have been pissed off at me, I'll certainly look back fondly and smile about it at the end.
Question from Reuters at the back.
Well, I just want to ask you about Leighton. He's out on court 11 today, 4.5 hours, still trying to play for as long as he can. But just your take on maybe how much you admire his resolve to get
Oh man, I mean, he's probably the best competitor I've played against. You know, and it's weird. I'm glad this year we've probably become friends. You know, at first we probably didn't like each other much, and then it came to the point where we respected each other, and then it was slowly like we kind of each give a little ground and say, you know, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Okay. And now, you know, now we'll text each other back and forth, you know, after matches and stuff. So it's funny how that, you know, the cycle we were talking about earlier, how that's come full circle. And you know, I come in today and he's just in the throes of a battle, and you know he's as energetic as if it's his first match that he's ever won, and yeah, our lockers are actually right next to each other, and he came in and he was really pumped up, and you know it'd be hard for me to respect what he's done in this game more than I do.
How big a deal can momentum be here? You have what seems like a winnable match, the next one, and then you could be on a wave a little bit. Would that momentum, does that matter?
Well, I'm sure it does, but it's not something that I think you can consciously force. You know, you can sit here and think about it as much as you want, and you know that it might be out there, but momentum is, if you're playing bad, momentum doesn't really mean anything you kind of have to get it's kind of like a snowball effect. So you have to kind of start pushing it down the hill for it to gain any momentum. So hopefully I can do that.
Andy, you talk about enjoying this ritual, obviously enjoying Ash. Are you going to miss having an audience in your life?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's not. It's been a while since I've had to do a pre-tournament press conference, and I don't really miss it. I don't need it. I don't think that's the part of it. The public part of it, I don't think I'll miss. I'll miss the kind of, like I said the other day, the innocent parts of it, the guys and all that. I think that'll be the part that on quiet days I'll probably miss it a little bit.
Andy, I'm guessing how hard you hit your serve tonight that you were saying to yourself, I don't care what my shoulder and arm's going to feel like tomorrow, I'm just going to go out there and rip it.
Yeah, I haven't hit these numbers in 2 years. I've gotten the last 2 matches. Who knows why? We'll see. It didn't feel very good after my first round, so we'll see how it pulls up tomorrow. Come watch practice tomorrow. You'll be equally unimpressed.
They've asked you about all your matches, the one you remembered and so on. And you had so many press conferences and mostly funny or interesting. And Ivan easily said you are number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as the best press conference man. Do you remember one press conference of yours that you were more proud of what your answer?
More proud of my answers in a press conference?
Yeah.
I don't really.
The question I remember, can you read a book in the darkness? But
Are you writing a story about yourself?
I did already.
Okay. What do you want me to say to make you look better in your story? Well, I don't know. You tell me, because you're searching for something. So let's just cut the.
No, I'd like to.
Maybe we just cut the shit and you tell me what you're looking for.
I'd like to hear what you say. I think your best press conferences are when your wife is around, even when you're lost, because then you like to be funny.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't really rate press conferences. It's not as if I leave the room and start fist pumping down the hallway if I had a good one. It's not something. It's not something I really think about, really. But go with what. Just make up whatever, and I'm good with whatever you. No problem. I have no consequence now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.